Hey, if I do it, then I'm doing it to death.
Yeah, man, I got chopped.
You
took too much off.
With the crew, you got a few, we got a slew. We trying to do what they said that we couldn't do. I ain't living with regrets. Ain't no limits, ain't no rest. They want money, power, respect. I want more, I wanna be blessed. We want the legacy. We got the hope and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory. We want the blessing. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, you know I do it for the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, hey, when I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory. For the real, I know how they used to feel. Now I'm here up in the field, making these moves, making these deals. I made something out of nothing. I ain't bluffing, no discussion. Look at the numbers, I've been hustling. Little rough around the edges, still I made it though. Still I just been laying low. Man, I just feel grateful though. I know where I come from, man, I ain't alone. Yeah, and I feel so blessed, too blessed to be stressed. And I'm with the day unos, they don't ride to the death. We got the legacy, we got the hope, and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory, we want the glory. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, you know I do it for the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, hey, when I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory.
Don't get me started, I'm pleading. If this is a race, can't none of y'all beat me. Boy, I'm so good, it feel like I'm cheating. A well of the storm, I feel like it's season. This type of drive could push Lamborghinis. So get yourself signed and have your own sneaker. I'm in the van, I'm pushing the meter. A legend like John for everyday people. I got the heart of a champion. I got the blood of a winner. I don't know how to be stagnant. I got way too much ambition. I keep on beating statistics. How would I be denied? My only option is winning. I'm crossing the finish line. I put myself in a place where nothing can top me. I feel like I'm space. It's bigger than profit, but still I get paid. My thinking colossal, not minimum wage. Talk to the loss like I know the way. Stay on my job like who need a break? It wasn't possible, I heard them say, but I'm like MacGyver to all my mistakes. Brought it back home, now look at the bases. Been winning so long, I feel like a native. I got what you want, but you cannot take it. I do what you don't, cause I'm more creative. I put me on, no help for your favors. I'm breaking the mold to show you the flavors. I got control, you can't enable. I'm using my flaws to make me the greatest. I'm number one. I'm number one. I'm number one. Yeah, I'm number one. 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 Yeah, I'm number one. I'm number one. Once I
DeVos Fieldhouse. Matt Wayne or Mike Coleman here on this Wednesday evening in Holland, Michigan. We're expecting 8 to 10 tonight. Mike made his way down here from 10 inches.
Oh,
and
man.
Mike, we're glad to hear that you made it here safely for this MIAA matchup. Hope College, Flying Dutch, taking on Albion here at the DeVos Fieldhouse. Hope College, of course, the favorite in today's matchup, 5-2. First game in conference today. Albion on the other side of things, 1-4. And this is a different roster than the Albion team that we saw last year. That was pretty darn good, 18-9, 11-5 in conference. And a team that we're going to hear a little bit more about from you. But Mike, first of all, glad you made it down here safely. Second of all, let's have a great MIAA matchup tonight.
Wow, Matt, thanks. Power the high-riding four-wheel drive action to get down here, my powerful Subaru. But yes, it's wintertime in Michigan, and it hit us hard. But nice in here at DeVos tonight on this Wednesday. Crowd filing in for a game that maybe lacks enough drama than it did last year. Hope took 3 straight against Albion, but Albion peaked last year. They had a couple all-conference players. They've lost a lot of their offense, 67%, 2/3 of their offense, and they're banged up because their leading scorer and returning all MIAA player, Brazil Watkins, out with an injury. So they're dealing with a lot, are the Britons.
That's right. You know, last season, that's a team, Mike, that had Riley Davis, Lolo Reed, Denia Beavers, DB Edwards. List goes on. And then you add in Brazil Watkins, an all-conference player, and that was going to be returning, 15 to 20 points of offense you'd expect on this team. And they're going to be without her tonight. We wish her the best in her recovery as we see her in the layup line, able to give out high fives. So I think that's going to be in her future. But today, this is a skeleton crew for Albion. And they've been looking to some other players. Emma Cook is 13 a game. Megan Truella is 13.4 a game. But not experienced, right? Neither of them. Emma Cook, obviously, in the starting lineup last year. Neither of them playing huge minutes for Albion last year. So they got a few things to figure out in a first game in conference. Early in season, going to have 2 cracks at Hope this year. So I think if you're Albion, you just got to consider how can we, what does it look like to have a successful game tonight on the road against a Hope team that also figuring out some things.
That's absolutely true. Here's what you get from Albion, though. Doreen Carden, she's been around a long time, the winningest coach ever in Albion history. Even though Albion's struggling just over 51 points per game, they always play stout defense, just giving up 56. Now, you mentioned, Matt, Hope trying to find themselves. They're trying to find their shot this year. They're giving up 60 points, but the offense a little bit quieter than last year. 3-point shot hasn't really come around collectively as a team. If Albion can put some pressure on a much more experienced Hope team, it could be an interesting game. But as always, Hope can just wear you down with 10 players in a row that they move back and forth, and Albion just does not have that type of depth.
That's what Hope has done all year, and I think that's what they'll keep doing this year. And it's been pretty typical minutes totals for Coach Morehouse this year. He's got that first group that's been in there just above 20 to 22 minutes a game, and then that second crew is somewhere between 16 and 20 as well. So I think that's how things will continue to shake out, but it's been that second 5 that's been really consistent. I've talked about that a lot this year if you've been with us on the broadcast. But outside of just that second 5, they're finding out a lot from those 2 freshmen, Anna and Leah Richards.
Well, they are, and the ironic thing, Becky Sutton, one of the assistant coaches for Albion, was an assistant coach last year for Lansing Catholic that had the Richards sister on there, so there's some sort of connection. And she was a starting point guard back in the early 2000s, so I love that layer to the onion. But Hope College, one good thing about Hope, they don't have to rely on the same score every night. Anna Richards, Sydney Viss, Chloe Brunsberg, Olivia Bellows coming off a career-high night in their last game against River Falls on the win.
We're going to throw it to Darren Dijsselmars here for the national anthem. We'll be right back with you in a minute.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Who whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kyle Spiegel. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the DeVos Fieldhouse here on the campus of Hope College for today's MIAA contest between the Britons of Albion College and your Hope College Flying Dutch. Here tonight's starting lineups. First for the Britons at 1 forward, a 5'8" sophomore from Houghton, number 5, Megan Truella. And at 1 forward for the Flying Dutch, a 5'10" junior from Byron Center, number 25, Sydney Viss. At 1 forward for the Britons, a 5'6" senior from Lake Odessa, number 24, Anya Kelly. And at 1 forward for the Flying Dutch, a 6'1" sophomore from Hudsonville, number 34, Maddie Petrulia. Starting at center for the Britons, a 6'1" senior from Okemos, number 44, Emma Cook. And at center for the Flying Dutch, a 6' senior from Fishers, Indiana, number 44, Courtney Lee. At 1 guard for the Britons, a 5'3" junior from Portland, number 11, Ava Guilford. And at 1 guard for the Flying Dutch, a 5'6" senior from Midland, number 11, Jada Garner. And at the final guard spot for the Britons, a 5'6" freshman from Muskegon, number 12, Brooklyn Torrens. And at the final guard spot for the Flying Dutch, a 5'6" senior from Lake City, number 23, Olivia Bellows. Albion College is coached by Doreen Cardin. Hope College is coached by Brian Morehouse. Your officials this evening, Raleigh Madison, Dre Callahan, and Amanda Callahan.
Back here at DeVos, Matt Waiter, Mike Coleman, and we're getting things started here. Those starting lineup once again, nothing new for Hope College. Garner, Bellows, Viss, Petrolia, Lee, and for Albion, Truella, Guilford, Tornes, Kelly, and Cook. So nothing new here, Mike. Let's go back to that game, Wisconsin River Falls. Olivia Bellows, 23 points, fantastic athlete of the week here at Hope College.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. She was the athlete of the week, and she saved her best for the whole weekend. She had 9 points in the game before against La Crosse, then finished it up with her career-high 23, so well-deserved.
And a game, too, that just started so slow for them, and then they ended up being able to blow it late. But I think they continue, even as a unit, when you talk to them, they talk about how they want to continue to get better and find their midseason form, as that's Albion who wins the tip, heading up offense here. For Hope is Tornes. Picks up her dribble. Garner on ball. Hope is going to start with man-to-man defense here. That's Ava Guilford leading the charge, trying to drive on Garner. Gets out to Truella. Truella driving with room on Petrolia easily for 2.
And she can do that. She didn't score a lot of points last year, but Guilford's a slasher. She's got some of the most experience on this Britain squad.
Truella leads Albion this year with 13.4 a game. Heading the other way is Viss with her left. Dish out to Petrolia. Petrolia is guarded by Truella. Garner on the drive here. Gets it out. Petrolia around the wing. Bellows, 3-point try. Off the mark. Fighting around for it. Looks like that's going to be off the hands of Courtney Lee. Oh, no. I was going to say it's actually off the hands of Anja Kelly, so we'll stay with Hope.
No surprise with the Lee. She had good games last year against Albion, almost 6 rebounds a game in the 3 victories over Albion in the 2023-24 campaign.
It's a steal here at the top of the key by Truella. Petrolia just letting that ball get a little too deep. But it's an ill-advised pass by Truella, going to be an Albion turnover.
Albion really has to settle down. They've had 2 turnovers now in the first 65 seconds of the game. They're getting good defense. They just have to settle down and make good passes.
Back to where you were talking about Lee, though, Mike. I mean, her minutes have been great. She's averaging 15, and then you got Leah Richards, of course, come off the bench and support her, and she's done a great job. They've kind of had this good 1-2 punch, 6 rebounds each, and Petrolia get it going from the get-go.
You were talking about Hope trying to get the new players involved. You got the Richards sisters and Maddie Petrolia, the transfer out of Loyola Chicago, trying to find her way in this Hope offense. That's a good start with a long 3-bomb.
Truella beat, but Petrolia on the steal.
There we go. Thank you, Maddie. On cue. Good defense.
Petrolia here going the other way. Picks up her dribble, gets it out to Viss around the key. Trying to get Albion out position. Albion in that man-to-man. Viss with strength. Too much. Lee for the putback. Can't get it to go. Garner, another offensive rebound. Garner may be the shortest on the court. She averages 5.7 rebounds a game.
It's all positioning. She got the weak side rebound. She was in the land of the Giants and just got the inside edge in the putback. 3 times the charm.
She's so impressive. It doesn't show up in the stat sheet. She just affects every game.
That's why she's the MVP coming back from last year from the MIAA.
They're going to get an offensive foul charge there on Emma Cook. She's a little bit out of positioning there. Viss, fantastic job of keeping her heels on the ground. Collect that offensive foul charge.
Cook with a breakout season so far, 13 points a game. Pretty quiet against Hope last year in her 3 contests.
5-2 is the Hope lead here. Petrolia's top of the key now. It's at the Bellows. We got Lee down trying to go to work, and she's got Viss for 3. Off the mark. Bellows fights for it off her hand.
You can't fault the effort. Bellows just tried to keep it alive, but I'd like to see Sydney Viss 3-ball get going. She's actually coming off a career-high 25 against this Albion club in the first round of the MIAA tournament last year. She had a career-high 4 3-balls in that game.
Last year she was so good offensively. A little bit of miscommunication there. And that's a good look by Tornes. She beats Viss off the dribble. Can't get that one to go.
It's a great look by the freshman out of Reese Puffer.
Reese Puffer, obviously a suburb of Muskegon. She's from this side of the state. Here's Bellows. Driving out. Garner with room. She's got a step on Guilford. And looks like she's swatted on the way up by Ava Guilford.
Yeah, Guilford lost the step and then got it back and stayed strong defensively.
Nice pass. Guilford tapped to Truella.
And that's what you do against Hope. If Hope overplays that wing, you do the backdoor cut, and that's very effective.
She's got Hope sleeping a little bit there on that
Sure
drive.
did.
I like Albion's game plan so far. You know what they're doing? They're getting out on shooters really well. They're going to force Hope to beat them down in the wing. They force a drive there by Viss. Putting them in a lot of dribble drive situations. Here's Bellows with her left. It's just a little off balance.
Yeah, Bellows got in just a little wild release down in that lane.
Truella, pump fake for 2, too strong.
That's such a tough shot, Matt Wayner, kind of a 7-foot leaner with no backboard.
I love the pump fake, though. She gets a lot of good positioning
Sold
there.
it.
Yeah,
she sold it.
Sold it, and she just a little too strong off the board. Here's Petrolia on the right wing. Picks it up. Great defense by Truella, but Petrolia too tough.
She used her height, and what we're seeing from Maddie this game is she's using her interior advantage with her height. We haven't seen a lot of that. It's been perimeter for Petrolia so far this year.
Petrolia is the transfer from Loyola Chicago, getting used to playing here at DeVos Fieldhouse as Emma Cook goes up over for 2.
The ever rare mid-range jumper from 15, and that is an element of Emma Cook's game we did not see a lot last year, normally down low player.
Yeah, that mid-range game, right? I'm always the one talking about David West 2010. But hey, everybody's shooting the 3 ball now. I can give that mid-range a little up.
It's hot right now. It's very hot right now.
Here's Garner going to work on Guilford. Has a step, driving. Can't get it to go. Just a little off balance.
Hope's getting some chances, just can't finish it off.
Truella probably should have been fouled there by Petrolia if they let him play. Cook takes that mid-range once again.
Well, we've had a little bit of contact on both ends, so referees definitely letting them go at it.
By the way, Petrolia, no look pass to the corner, gets Albion out of position. Bellows drives down to Lee. Great defense.
And you see how fast Albion closes. They lost it, but the help side defense created that turnover.
Torrens driving. Too tough off the backboard. This pace is absolutely horrendous. Bellows picks up her dribble. Too strong. I mean, can you believe how quick they're going up and down the court right now? We're already at 4 to play in the first.
It's manic right now. It always seems to be here at DeVos.
Torrens just stolen by the All-MIAA Player of the Year, Jada Garner.
There you go. You talked about Jada Garner. What she does that doesn't show up in the stat sheet. She disrupted the freshman in the backcourt. The senior took it away, drew contact. Now she's going to go to the line.
We're going to get that second 5 in. I think we're going to get a timeout here. Media timeout, yep. We'll stay here for a second. We're going to break down 7-6 here at Hope College, Mike. Like you said, Jada Garner, obviously the returning MIAA Player of the Year last year. Somebody who, you know, it wasn't filling up the stat sheet. It was just over 10 a game, but she affects the game so well, as you can see on that steal, forcing Torrens into a tough position. And you can already see the makings of somebody that knows what she's doing, and Torrens leading this Albion offense.
Well, she's been given more responsibility just by injury accident with Brazil Watkins. And let me get this straight, that is a huge loss. As Watkins, she was a former Alabama State Division I transfer with meaningful minutes down in Alabama. And to lose her, we don't know how long she'll be out, but so you got the youngsters getting set up with maybe more action than they're used to. But I think Torrens would be a starter and get some minutes anyway, but now she has to carry more of the load for a team that really struggles on offense.
Right, and that's great experience for the freshman.
It is.
Obviously without Watkins. A team that, like we said last year, was pretty fun to watch. If it was Lolo Reed, if it was Riley Davis, if it was Denia Beavers, they had an identity and they were aggressive and they hated Hope.
They did. What I liked about them is they play just as hard a defense as Hope does, but they have the inside-outside game. And when they hit those threes, they were dangerous. And even though they lost all 3 games, 2 out of the 3 went down to the wire.
Garner at the free throw line, and it's that second group of subs here. It's the first to go.
Good free throw shooting team. The Flying Dutch at 74%. That's an intangible that will win you a few games when you get down the stretch. And Matt, I think Jada, she's looking for her offense. She shot 47% last year from the three-point line. A little less percentage-wise, but you saw a couple of seconds ago, her defense did not get affected with that steal earlier.
Garner just 8 points a game, 58% from the field, 40% from 3, 77 from
there we
the free
go.
throw line. That will get it done. Here's that second group of subs in, and it's almost stolen by Lauren Leach.
Well, they tried that baseline hook pass over the defense, but Lauren Leach, arguably one of the most improved players from last year, according to coaches, with a nice tip away. It'll stay with the Britons, though.
It's been the second 5 that's been really consistent. Richards, Brunsberg, Leach, and Taryn Maynard, the point guard. Here's Truella with room up and under Leah Richards.
She loves this weather outside from Houghton, Michigan. You know they get snowed under, so she went a long way to go to college.
Right at home.
She's right at home, but good-looking sophomore.
Maynard out to Leah Richards, down. That's Anna in the post. Kick out. Maynard, three-point try. Why not? She can do it all.
See, that's the beauty. Hope passes so well. If they can knock down a few threes, they'll be in great shape because they get so many open looks because they are able to shuffle it around the perimeter against this 2-3 zone.
And Maynard was the one against Wisconsin lacrosse late in that game. Massive defensive stop by her when you needed her most, and she got a big stop for Hope to
just
win
a
that game.
comfortable sophomore from Jenison. Was comfortable from day one last year.
Fun fact, Terry Maynard will be playing softball as well this year here at Hope. She can do it all.
That's amazing.
Off the mark there on the three-point tries. Guilford, and it's stolen. It's by Kalia Cook. She can't get that one to go. Anna Richards out in transition. Nice pass, Brunsberg down to Leach with strength. Yeah, Lauren Leach.
You know, we talk about Brunsberg deep game, well over 40% for the long line, but made herself big down low with that 6'1 frame, easy kiss.
Nice pass in transition by Brunsberg. Here's Guilford leading the charge, frustrated by Maynard.
Hope stepping up the pressure defensively, Matthew.
Kalia Cook, yeah, 3 points.
Wowza.
When she needed them.
Well, for a team that has struggled all year from the three-point line, just 17%. That's a nice comeback by Albion.
Top of the key now, Anna Richards. What do we need to start calling Anna Leah? Is that all I say?
I think Anna R, Leah R.
Anna R, Leah. That's what they've been hearing since elementary school.
We don't know who's older. We know they're twins, but I'm sure they have their own theory. But two players that have really contributed right off the bat for Brian Morehouse.
Ooh, a good look by Ava Guilford, just a little too strong off the hands of Kalia Cook. Couple of subs in now for Albion. It's going to be number 23, DJ Pinnell from North Central. That's my neck of the woods.
There we go.
Rival of Carmel High School.
Matt Wayner, Indiana lad. If you follow the broadcast, proud Indiana lad.
And then that's number 45, Catherine Vanderweg from Portage, Michigan. She went to Portage Northern. Here's Taryn Maynard driving. Yeah, she's too quick for you. But she doesn't get that one to go. Gets her own rebound. Leach around the horn. Dishes down. There's Leah Richards with space to work. She does with that little left hand.
So comfortable, all set up by the fourth offensive rebound by Hope as Maynard stuck with her miss and was able to transition that into an assist.
Around the corner, here's Truella. Driving, gets it off the glass to go.
And she got that right off the dribble, went up strong to the left side, just a sophomore, but she's one of the team leaders.
Leach. Kraus, Leah Richards thinks about it. Brunsberg loves it. Yeah, she's so comfortable with that.
Well, she comes in, does Chloe Brunsberg, 48%, wow. The leading three-point shooter, 11 of 23. Make it 12 of 24. An easy 50%. That's easy math, MW.
That's easy math and 50%. That is not too bad, Mike. At the top of the key is Vanderweg, frustrated by Leah Richards' defense. Kalia Cook. Driving with space. Oh, nice move. And the and one.
Wow, she had double coverage. Little slight hesitation near side. Took it in for the reverse layup. But Aaliyah Cook, holy cow. Kalia Cook. I said Aaliyah. It's Kalia, the freshman out of Muskegon Mona Shores. So youth is served for this Albion team.
Rebound there by Anna Richards. Setting up offense here. The left hand dishes out. Leah Richards, top of the key. Nothing but 9 line.
You get a three. You get a three.
24-15 is the Hope College lead, and been a great game by both of these clubs. Let's take a break, Mike. We'll talk about it after this. at DeVos. Great first quarter here, Mike. 24-15, that's the Hope College lead. A couple of stats here. Truella with 8. Maddie Petrolia with 5. Brunsberg with 5. Leah Richards with 5. Kalia Cook for Albion with 5 as well. And Mike, here in this first quarter, it's been, you can't say even with Hope up 9, Mike, you gotta give a lot of credit to what Albion's been able to do.
No, they're shooting 54%. They're getting some good looks. They're getting some points in the paint as well. Both teams with 10 points in the key. And that's going to be key for Albion especially.
Around the key here, Lauren Leach driving. And she's going to be fouled on the way up.
You know, we talked about Albion getting space down low, but you're also seeing Hope get a lot of action down low as well. They just have not been able to finish off as many as Albion. 4 of 6 in the key tonight, and Hope 4 of 9.
Leach can't get that one to go. Really good by Albion. They've been kind of pressuring Hope by putting so much on ball, forcing them to dribble drive through that. And Hope's just done a good job trying to get it down to their 5 for a kick out for 3, and they've hit those shots.
Well, you pick your poison. Now, if Hope is being stymied on the drive, they'll move the ball well and kick it out. And Hope's been able to knock down some 3s. So you pick your poison if you're the Albion defense.
Hope in that first quarter, 50% from the field and 4 of 6 from 3. As well as making all their free throws that first quarter. That will get it done. That's for sure.
Sure will.
Ava Guilford. 3-point try just off the mark. Rebound brought down by Leah. Here comes Maynard with speed and with pace. Going the other way out to Anna Richards. Right wing, Brunsberg puts the ball on the floor. Round to Leach. Leah Richards around the horn here for Hope. Shot clock expiring. Anna setting up. 1 second to go. Leah almost gets it to go late in shot clock.
And the Britons forced Hope to take a shot maybe they didn't want. They ran it all the way down to the shot clock. Good defense by the Purple.
There's Torrance cross court to Ava Guilford. Almost off the mark. Who's at the top of the key is Anja Kelly. Down to Cook. Torrance again. Dribble driving, dishes out. Truella, 3-point try. Air ball. And it's out on Ava Guilford.
Good looks by Albion. Boy, that was a great pass. I think it was Guilford found the corner pocket 3-ball to her teammate. Just couldn't convert it. But Albion finding some seams in the Hope defense. And man, oh man, both teams shooting very well early on.
Albion in that first quarter, 54% from the field and 1 of 2 from 3. Both these teams, like we said, playing very competitive. Lee down in the post, gets it out to Viss. Viss looking at that screen with a lot of strength. She takes it right to Anja Kelly.
You know, she's top 10 in career field goal percentage at 55% is Courtney Lee. If that continues, that'd be a nice pedigree to leave to this college.
Guilford, 3-point try in the corner, off the mark. Viss gets it to go.
Great positioning, weak side board by Sydney Viss. Her number's down a little bit, coming off a major ankle injury.
There was one that we thought was a little bit worse, but she's tough, and she knows how to get it done. As I said, are you going to be all right? And she said, yep, no problem. So you love to see her play, and she's been starting the last few games, trying to get her offense going. And that's Anna and Viss. A lot of offense on the court right now between them and Garner. Viss, too strong.
Boy, that little Euro step, she's so strong. She reminds me of Sydney Muller from a couple years ago, but strong with either hand, and she just bullied her way in for 2.
Sydney Muller was always good to be able to get a bucket when you needed one. Garner gets another rebound.
Boy, 3 straight trips down the floor for the Britons. They've come away empty.
These are the parts of the game when historically you see Coach Morehouse just really wear teams down. The second quarter, you start to get up 15, 20 points, and then it gets really hard to stay in the game. Here's Garner, 3-point try. Would have been a dagger. Anna Richards gets an offensive rebound. Almost gets to go. Garner again. Leach. Hesitation on Guilford. High ball screen, and Guilford steals it. All the way to the basket is Guilford, and 1.
How smart was that for Guilford? Gave away a few inches, knew she was going to get fouled. She put it high off that window, eluding the lead block, and the crafty guard lays it up and in for a chance for an old school 3.
I'm a big fan of that move. When you have a player beat, but you're able to use your body to work right into them without a foul, but just be able to square up your shoulders and trust that right hand, she did a really good job there. Old-fashioned three-point play for Guilford.
Just 5-3 out of Portland, Michigan.
Portland, do my Michigan geography for me. Like
Sure.
I said, I'm from Indiana. Where's Portland?
About 15 miles west of Lansing. A lot of good sports teams, especially football.
There's Petrolia again with a three-point try just off the mark.
They've got Portland High School and Portland St. Patrick, and
Is it a small school?
small school, probably Division 5, I'd say, Division 6 perhaps.
Is it 8 divisions?
It is.
Yeah.
We'll get you squared away in the Great Lakes
Thank
State,
you.
Matthew.
Here's Garner. Brown the key now to Petrolia. And out to Bellows. Here's Lee at the top of the key. And Mike, I knew about a couple of West Side teams, Hudsonville and Zeeland West, in the state championship for football this weekend.
Yeah, it was
Obviously,
really nice.
The Ducks were able to get it done as Viss gets it done at the bucket for a left-handed layup.
Zeeland
Ducks
West
win it,
got it done against a very good program, Martin Luther King. I had a chance to watch them back in 2015 in the finals at Ford Field, but congratulations to Zeeland West.
And obviously Cass Tech winning that one against Hudsonville on the other end. That's a nice three-pointer there by Anja Kelly, just keeping Albion in this game.
Line drive laser beam triple.
It's me a timeout by Coach Morehouse. He wants to talk things over with that starting 5, get them in to see if he can talk things over. Let's take a quick 30. We'll be right back.
Yeah, my name is Travis Williams. I'm the CEO of the ODC Network. I graduated from Hope in 1998. I studied biology, and then I also played football. In order to be successful, people really need more than just the academic experience, but they need people to come alongside them and help them, coach them, mentor them. I find that Hope College has just been one of the best examples of being able to do that anywhere.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to help share Hope stories of transformational impact.
Let's hear Mike, 31-21. It's a Hope College lead. It's Coach Morehouse taking a quick timeout to talk things over. And so far here, Viss leads Hope with 6, Petrolia with 5, Brunsburg with 5, and both teams shooting it really well. Hope College 48% from the field, Albion 45, Hope 44% from 3, Albion just 28%, 2 of 7. And a game where Hope, really the story to me right now is they're crushing them on the board 17-8. They have 6 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, that'll get the job done. Hope likes to have the rebound margin game in and game out. 5 turnovers for Albion. They've calmed down a little bit in that department. Hope with 3 turnovers.
Bellows gets the ball into Garner. She sets up the offense. It's that first 5 out there for Hope. Lee, Petrolia, Viss, Garner, and Bellows. Garner looking for a high ball screen. She's probing now. Gets it out to Bellows. 3-point try with time expiring. Off the mark, rebound brought down by Emma Cook.
And you're seeing a few chances for Hope of the last 3 or 4 possessions that they had to run down all the way to the end of the shot clock to get a shot away.
Torrance beats Garner off the dribble, then she passes right in the passing lane to Sid Viss. Sid Viss with strength goes right up for it. Truella's going to get called for the foul.
Did you see where Viss leaned into Truella, initiating the contact, but you're going to get the defensive call 99.9% of the time, probably all the time, and that's a senior move by the junior Viss. Oh, the senior move by the senior Viss.
No, junior.
No, the junior, okay.
You got that right.
I was right the first time. We better mark that one down, Matt.
Hey, I get teased a lot. I had my Sid Viss stock freshman year. I've had it. It just keeps booming. Business is booming on that Sid Viss stock. I saw her come in, hit a couple of threes in a conference game early her freshman year, and I was like, okay. I'll buy stock. How much?
Yeah,
Can I get 20 shares?
Yeah, that was a good investment.
I'll keep buying them every year. I keep buying. Stock goes up, keep buying more.
She keeps delivering.
She keeps delivering.
By the way,
the return on investment, year after year after year.
Bet on her free throw. She's 8 for 8 on the year. She hasn't missed all year.
Here's Albion going the other way. Nice move by Torrance and one. Garner's curious where foul call is going to be. She got her on the arm, possibly. Torrance, nice move.
Certainly was. 12 minutes for Torrance, and that's her first basket. She has a couple of assists and a couple of rebounds. But a team that shoots 70% from the free throw line, and Torrance, not a great free throw shooter, but she's 9 of 17, second most attempts on the team.
Make that 9 of 18, 15%
here we go.
Here, 50% here in their first conference game. And so far for this Albion team, Mike, 1-4 on the season, 4 straight losses. That's to Lake Forest College, Bluffton University, DePaul, and University of Chicago just last week. So 1-4 this season as they start MIAA play. That one's by Petrolia, but another offensive rebound. Garner chucks it up again. That's 7 here today in the first half for Hope.
And by the way, that loss to Chicago for Albion, Chicago number 22 in the nation, so they lost 66-47 to a top 25 team.
That's not a bad loss to have on your resume.
No, they didn't help themselves. They had a season-high 18 turnovers in that game, and they did not shoot well. But Emma Cook had 15 in that game, and Ava Guilford had 12 rebounds. That was a career high. That diminutive point guard from Portland played big down low with the big boys, or big gals, I should say.
Here's Guilford on the left wing. Trying to set up offense there, gets it out to Torrance around the wing. That's still man-to-man defense here by Hope. Truella, good with that first step as she's been. Guilford, three-point try. Almost. And a good look. We got 3 minutes to play. Hope College clinging to a 10-point lead. Maynard, driving kick. That's Petrolia. Yep, she's comfortable.
You can see by just the way she strokes that three that she was the second-ranked forward to come out of her graduating class out of Hudsonville. A dynamite release, and we're seeing 2 3 balls early on.
You don't want to say necessarily that she's streaky, but this year so far it's been a combination of games where she's been really hot.
Right.
Scoring 20-plus, and a couple other games where it's taken a little bit for her to get going, and tonight seems to be her night. Bellows going the other way, and it's just stolen by Torrance.
That was a great play. Torrance is really impressing me. But, you know, quickly back to Maddie Petrilli. She didn't play a lot of basketball last year at Loyola Chicago. Now she's getting meaningful minutes, kind of working her way into this year. And so we're seeing a little bit more comfort by her as the season progresses.
Torrance setting things up here for Hope. I love the demeanor here so far. Obviously by Coach Doreen Carden. Like you said, she's been fantastic at Albion in her 24th year. Her demeanor on the court, the way she's able to command her players, they respect her so much.
You bet. She's an icon.
Torrance with the air ball, but rebound by Cook. Almost gets it to go. Leah Richards on the board.
Cook's got to get involved in this offense. The leading scorer just 2 points on 1 of 4 shooting for Albion.
Completely agree. It's been a lot of Truella, who they trust. It's a good defensive possession by Anja Kelly. Going to stay here with Hope. Here comes Brunsberg.
And you knew it was going to be a challenging year for Albion. Picked 5th out of 9 teams in the preseason poll. Hope favored first by everyone's standards in that preseason poll. And Albion with a lot of new faces, but Doreen Carden, the type of coach, you can just mold the players in her style. And this team's just going to be just fine. They're going to win a few games this year.
Top of the key, around the horn here. Petrolia. Out to Anna Richards. Here's Maynard, top of the key. Oh, with a step on Torrance. Torrance has to have the bailout foul. She didn't like it there, but Maynard just beat her off the dribble. Probably not used to getting beat to the basket.
No, Maynard's so sneaky quick, so comfortable off that dribble. As we have some substitution now, Lauren Leach back in. Maddie Petrulia gets a breather. And number 2, Chloe Brunsberg. One of the few Minnesota players that's ever been on Brian Morehouse's roster in his 29 seasons out of Chaska.
I love when we have Michigan geography time, we got Midwest geography time, I've got Indiana covered. I can get a lot of Ohio for you, but I need you to carry Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota for me.
Well, my people are from Wisconsin originally, so I can do that. By the way, our good friend Scott Watson listening in tonight, he's going to check into Hope Volleyball. We'll try and get an update on that as they're in the national tournament in Virginia. A lot going on if you're a Hope fan.
First minutes here for Albion. That's number 14, Sydney Sconborn. From here, Kentwood, Michigan, Grand Rapids Catholic Central graduate.
Yeah, she's coming off an injury last year, just played a few games, trying to work her way back into playing shape.
And of course, that's Kalia Cook, the freshman, 5'5", from Mona Shores in the ball game now for Albion as well.
A small roster for Doreen Carton as far as height. Emma Cook gives you that height, but smaller than they definitely had last year.
Here's Guilford, leading offense, gets it out to Cook, time expiring. Cook drives, not a bad look by her. Here's Brunsberg now, 37-23. Leach on the drive, all the way out. Anna Richards, nobody guarding her, gets it to go.
That's about the third or fourth open three that we've seen where they were wide open and they get a chance to set their feet. Good release by the freshman, Anna Richards, second leading scorer on this club.
40-23 now, a couple of possessions left here for halftime. And Kalia Cook, yeah, she just picked up her feet a little bit too early as she gets called for that.
You know, Hope had a 9-point lead at the end of the first frame, and sometimes runs don't have to be huge to add up, but Hope is enjoying a 5-point run. Albion's been stuck on 23 for quite a while now.
Here's Maynard.
By the way, 3 minutes and 35 seconds, Albion's last point, so it's been a while. 7-0 run, I stand corrected, for Hope.
Beach trying to get the ball in here. So here's Anna Richards now, 12 to play. Brunsberg gets another one. That's a 20-point lead here for Hope.
That just shows you the potential of this Hope offense from the long line.
And that will do it. No foul there to end the half. Ava Guilford, 43-23 is the Hope College lead. We'll stay here for a minute before we take this 15-minute break. And Mike, a game now as I pull up some stats here. That's looked a whole lot like pretty dominant by Hope College, but not bad by Albion on the offensive end.
No, Albion shot that 54% that we alluded to in the first 10 minutes, but they really cooled off in that second frame. They were 7 of 13 in the first quarter, just 3 of 13 in the second, and not a lot of second chance efforts with just 2 offensive rebounds, but Hope with 7 offensive boards are dominating by 12 in the rebound department, and Hope continuing good shooting with 46% in the second quarter and knocking down 7 3-balls already in this game.
So Hope College leads 43-23. We're going to take a break here, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes.
Are you thinking about buying, selling, or refinancing? Your title agency matters, and you have a choice. Lighthouse Title started in Holland, Michigan more than 20 years ago and has grown to over 45 locations. We are proud to be local in these communities. Visit Lighthouse Title for more information and use our online widget, Louie the Lightkeeper, to chat with someone today about how we can help you close on your new home.
Gentex is a tech company supplying electro-optical products to the global automotive, aerospace, and fire protection industries. With focused competencies in design, vision, displays, software, and more, we're always looking for engineering talent. For our direct hire hourly production positions, we run open interviews Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 at our 58 East Riley facility in Zeeland. And our facilities, benefits, and culture are everything you'd expect from a world-class employer. Now's the time to join Team Gentex.
Sports, like healthcare, requires commitment, teamwork, and excellence. That's why Hope College selected Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics to provide athletic training and physical therapy for all Hope College athletes. Get the care you deserve. Trust the team that exceeds expectations. The Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics Sports Medicine Collaborative.
There are over 5,000 colleges and universities in the United States alone, and nearly every single one of them is named after a location or a historical figure. But along the shores of Lake Michigan, there is a school whose namesake is not a founder, not a historical figure, not a state, city, or physical landmark. It is named after an ideal, a virtue, a way of life. Its name is hope. It is so easy to get lost in what this world lacks, to become discouraged by its needs, gaps, and flaws. Can we see beyond the uncertainty and brokenness? At Hope College, we do. Not by ignoring the world as it is, but by learning and living with the belief that this is not the world as it should be, by driving to understand, to unlock clarity, to amplify truth, by leading with inspired compassion, by embodying a vision that illuminates greater opportunity for all, by serving with anchored conviction, using our collective gifts to offer this world what it needs most. Hope. Not simply hope as a desire, but hope as a way of being. Because hope has changed the way we see the world, and hope drives us to change the way the world is. Because hope shapes our calling. Because hope inspires our dreams. Because hope empowers our talents. Because hope frees us to try. Because hope transforms what we believe, transforms how we act, transforms who we are. At Hope College, we know this life-altering grace is a gift we have all been given, and it is the greatest gift we can offer the world. Hope transforms.
In our popular mythology, revolutions happen in Silicon Valley, right? But no, the revolution happened here.
I think we are starting a revolution. It's coming from a very strong sense of who we are.
It's immediately creating a multi-generational community.
There's something magical happens when you shift from being a payer to being a giver.
Hope Forward has 58 students, I think, today-ish. You know, when we started in '94, we had 47. It's doable. What they're trying to do is doable. Getting people to believe early on is the hardest part.
It has given people a sense of belonging to a cause greater than themselves.
This can happen. This is possible, and we need each of you to be brand ambassadors for this initiative.
We're all aware of the crisis in American education. There are other crises as well that I think are linked to it. The second is the crisis facing our young people, the mental health crisis. And the third crisis is the crisis in our church. And when I look at what is happening here at this school, in this community, I see it as not just addressing the first of those crises, but all three of them.
The students are incredible, and the idea is incredible. Why not 30 years from now, this is the norm?
I've said this a million times, but who better than a place called Hope to run toward things that to the world look hopeless?
influencing the ones that do it best. Oh yeah, started moving with the crew. You got a few, we got a slew. We trying to do what they said that we couldn't do. Oh yeah, I ain't ain't living with regrets. Ain't no limits, ain't no rest. They want money, power, respect. I want more, I wanna be blessed. We want the legacy. We got the hope and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory, we want the blessing. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. The glory, the glory. You know I do it for the glory. The glory. When I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory. For the real, I know how they used to feel. Now I'm here up in the field, making these moves, making these deals. I make something out of nothing. I ain't bluffing, no discussion. Look at the numbers, I've been hustling. Little rough around the edges, still I made it though. Still I just been laying low. Man, I just feel grateful though. I know where I come from, man, I ain't alone. Yeah, and I feel so blessed, too blessed to be stressed. And I'm with the day unos, they don't ride to the death. We got the legacy, we got the hope, and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory, we want the glory. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. The glory, the glory. You know I do it for the glory. The glory. When I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory.
My name's Emma Duttmers, and I'm a communications major, and then I'm minoring in environmental studies. I play soccer. The first soccer game of my junior year, I tore my ACL. Our athletic trainer, Annie, was there for me right when it happened, and she was there for me literally every step of the way. That was definitely a huge growing opportunity for me, and it was really hard, but it really pushed me to be a leader with more of my voice because I couldn't lead by example on the field. It definitely made me take a step back and realize how much there's to be grateful for.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to share hope stories of transformational impact.
I loved school. I've always loved school, and I was very driven in high school too, but for some reason I just never actually thought I could do it because I couldn't see it. It didn't feel tangible. And when I was able to get a scholarship, I was like, I'm actually going to college. I can do this. People believe in me. I understood that my education could completely change my life, that it opened so many doors. And I think that some students just go to college as the next stepping stone in their life. They don't really think about what does this really mean and how can this change my life. And I understood that because neither of my parents had that opportunity to get a degree.
I graduated from Hope College in 2019 with a biochemistry and molecular biology degree with a Spanish minor. One big part of my personal calling into medicine is to, one, show other students that look like me, so students of color, women, that you can do this too. And that if there is an obstacle, let's talk about it and let's surpass that obstacle, because you can surpass that obstacle. I feel like my family and I have done a lot for me to get here, but I know it is doable with support. One big moment that happened recently that's super exciting and a part of your entrance into medical school is the white coat ceremony. It was monumental to me and my family. It was a symbol of how hard work does pay off. For me, as a first-generation college student, receiving my scholarship opened up that door for education that I didn't believe in high school I even deserved. Now being an adult and going through college and now being in med school, I can see that investment of that scholarship in my life truly allowed me to not only pursue this, but also gain confidence in myself that I do deserve to be present in a higher education realm, even though not many people look like me when I walk in the door. I've been able to help my younger sibling and then also extended family apply to college and apply to scholarships now that I've gone through it. So I do think being that first person to go through it is really scary, but once you are able to gain those experiences, you can help others and uplift those around you. If I were to talk to the donor who helped make my scholarship possible, I would say thank you. Your support makes education accessible, and that accessibility not only changes lives of individuals, but transforms their community.
Sports, like healthcare, requires commitment, teamwork, and excellence. That's why Hope College selected Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics to provide athletic training and physical therapy for all Hope College athletes. Get the care you deserve. Trust the team that exceeds expectations. The Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics Sports Medicine Collaborative.
Are you thinking about buying, selling, or refinancing? Your title agency matters, and you have a choice. Lighthouse Title started in Holland, Michigan more than 20 years ago and has grown to over 45 locations. We are proud to be local in these communities. Visit Lighthouse Title for more information and use our online widget Louie the Lightkeeper to chat with someone today about how we can help you close on your new home.
Back at Voss Fieldhouse, Hope College with a 20-point lead here. And Mike, here starting out conference play. I know it's been a lot of stuff that Hope has kind of been figuring out over their first 6 games so far this season. But really, I mean, they've found a lot of players that they can trust. If it's Anna Richards, if Leah Richards, if it's Brunsberg. You know, right now, Brunsberg, Petrolia, and Viss all have 8 points. And so it just doesn't matter. It can be anybody.
Right. It's a plug-and-play offense. And I think what we're seeing tonight, what Hope wanted to see this year, is a little bit more productive field goal percentage and knock down some early threes. Matt, you're a big baseball guy. Shooting like hitting is contagious. And I think you knock down some early shots, gives everybody a little bit of confidence. And I think if this Hope team can shoot a little bit better, you know the defense is going to be there. I think they'll be just fine. They're 5-2. They're 16th in the nation, and they're coming off a really nice weekend against 2 WIAC teams. So I think they're playing some good basketball right now.
That's right. And Albion on the other end of things, pretty good first quarter with 15 points, just 8 points that second quarter. And when you look at it here, it kind of just looks like a team that, you know, they're obviously missing Brazil Watkins, but they're trying to find where more of that offense, and like you said, at the end of the second quarter, they got to get Emma Cook going.
Yeah, their leading scorer, 13 points coming in. She does have 5 rebounds, but just 2 points in 18 minutes on 1 of 5 shooting. She's played pretty much the entire first half.
There's Bellows on the right wing. Trying to go around the horn here to Lee. There's Petrolia down there. Petrolia out to Courtney Lee, gets that one to go.
Yeah, 55% career shooter, doing what she does best, not missing those close range.
Here's Guilford here on the right wing, trying to set things up for Albion. It's out to Truella. Truella up and under. Oh, just rattled around, couldn't get it to go.
Wonderful move by the sophomore out of Houghton, Michigan. She just had a beautiful penetration, just couldn't finish it off.
There's Garner, top of the key. Garner, Bellows, Lee, Petrolia, and Viss. Petrolia down, trying to go up over Truella, looking for the foul, doesn't get it.
Well, the bench has come up solid tonight. 23 points are waiting to come in, but pretty solid all season long for Brian Morehouse.
Guilford Driving now with the dish. And that's out in the corner. That's 3-point try by Kelly. It's right in the hands of Viss, going the other way. Hope College now 22-point lead. Lee looked good, but Emma Cook's gonna defend that one, get a rebound here. Going the other way.
Sorry, Matt. Yeah, Cook was able to keep Lee about 2 feet out farther than Lee wanted to disrupt that shot.
And there's Torrens. Good look there by the freshman. Getting going.
Yeah, just her second basket. Just 5 field goal attempts, so the volume has not been there for Albion in the field goal attempts, especially starting since the second quarter.
And Hope continues to try and get the ball down to their 5 down there in Courtney Lee and see if she can either get space for a one-on-one, otherwise she's going to kick it out to Viss or Bellows or Petrolia for a 3.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That's 2 times or 3 times in this start of the third that Lee has been the hub of the wheel offensively for Hope. Oh.
And that's Viss, easily gets that one to go. Nice inbounds pass by Gardner.
Set up by kind of pseudo screen by Courtney Lee, and Viss kind of snuck around the backside for the easy deuce. 8 for Viss.
And Viss with 10 now, and she's in
yes,
double
thank
digits
you.
First time in a few games, and they're going to need that, especially heading into conference.
You bet.
There's Guilford. Around the back and trying to get that one.
By the way, Matthew, speaking of conference play, big game early on. Trine, who's number 28 in the nation, taking on a Calvin team. Trine 4-1 coming in. They're at home tonight, 16-8 over Calvin early in the second quarter from Angola, Indiana.
Trine 4-1 so far this year. Calvin just 3-4. So Calvin, a little bit of a new roster as they try to get things figured out here in the early comings.
Like Albion, they lost a lot to graduation last year and trying to find some offense.
Here's Anna Richards going the other way. Up to Viss at the top of the key. Puts the ball on the court. Down to Leah. Leah dish out. Petrolia thought about it. Hesitates. Puts the ball on the floor. Here's Viss driving with a step. Yeah. That's the old Sid Viss. That's the Sid Viss that I got 20. 20 shares of stock in.
If you're going to make a Sidney Viss poster, and I suggest we should, that's what would be on it. Dribble, drive, score with the left hand.
Here's Gardner going the other way. Hope just commanding this lead now. Gardner is fouled on the way up. She'll be at the free throw line.
Did you see that little mini crossover that she employed in the key just seconds before she released it? That was a really wonderful move, just enough to disrupt the defense, and Garner going to try and earn 2 at the stripe.
Leach and Brunsburg coming back in the game now.
Boy, this height for Hope is so impressive. That one of the tallest teams, which doesn't always translate, Matt, but I'm telling you, you got like Leah Richards and Petrulia with the height as a power forward. And then you got Brunsburg, tall but a good perimeter player. Gives you a lot of options if you're Brian Morehouse.
Garner gets that one to go. Yeah, and they kind of play a little bit positionless, right? I mean, in some ways,
correct.
It's like other than the 5, everybody else seems to be able to shoot the 3, seems to be able to drive. You don't really have one ball-dominant guard. And you got Garner and Maynard who both really know their role to be able to command offense.
I think other than maybe Leah Richards and Courtney Lee, of the top 10, the other 8 players are very comfortable running the point, which is pretty rare.
Absolutely. Anna Richards has even held the point a few times so far this year. Horns trying to get it down to Cook as they get her going. Nope. Doesn't get it to go. Here's Leah with the rebound.
Yeah, Cook smacks her hands together, a little frustrated. She had some positioning down low.
Anna Richards, top of the key, gets it down to Leah. Leah got away with a travel there.
She did. It's
she knows it too. You can see that smile.
Well, you got to take advantage of it. It's not her fault they didn't call it. But, if you're the Richards sisters, you've got former assistant coach at Lansing Catholic, Becky Sutton, telling her Albion players, look, okay, this is what they like to do. It's one thing to know what they want to do. It's another thing to try and stop them from doing it.
Maybe in some ways she's the one teaching them that move, right?
Right.
That move, I know it because I've seen it for the last 4 years.
I invented that move for them. Boy, Matt, after 15 first quarter points by Albion, they've scored just 10 points since the first 10 minutes of this game.
And that Hope defense is they're in a 2-3 zone now, trying to trap force Albion to pass through it as Cook just putting the ball on the ground. She gets an and one.
There we go. Very aggressive move. And that's tough, too, because the defense wasn't bad down low. She was going way against the basket and was able to use the backboard to knock it down, but they're going to just need a healthy dose of that.
Here's Cook now. Gets that one to go. As we see on the replay here in that 2-3, Maynard trying to come down to trap. She's used her strength there on the other side.
Yeah, a little fallback layup.
Leah Richards puts the ball on the floor. Going up and over Truella, gets her own rebound. Dish out, Anna Richards, three-point try. And another Leah Richards rebound. How many offensive boards? Anna, that one doesn't go.
How about 10 in this game so far, Matt?
Oh, nice move by Torrens going the other way and the fast break.
That freshman, she's going to win a few all-conference honors before it's all said and done. She is a fantastic young guard for Albion.
Anna Richards looking for a high ball screen. It's Brunsberg on the right wing. Brunsberg puts the ball on the floor, setting up offense. Anna Richards, ball on the floor. Dish out. Brunsberg. That one's off the mark. Rebound brought down by Cook.
Good aggressiveness, though, by Brunsberg. Just couldn't finish it off, but use that dribble penetration near side, or far side, I should say.
Here's Anja Kelly here. Up a dribble, gets the ball down to Truella. Truella on Brunsberg. Brunsberg with a reach-in foul.
Good job, Megan.
Well, here's the game in a nutshell, Matt Wayner. Albion shot 54% in the first quarter. Since then, they've shot 31% in this basketball game.
I think there's going to be a media timeout here. So we got 4:41 to play here. 53-30 is the Hope College lead.
And go ahead, Matt. I insist.
Oh.
I insist.
Sorry about that. No, this to me just appears more and more just like I really don't mind the strategies the Albion's have. They're able to kind of work through working against that 2-3 zone. I think Hope's just trying a few different things, seeing what they can get comfortable with. Obviously, the Coach Morehouse's strategy of getting that second five in, get them comfortable so you can trust them later in the season.
And I think you're right on that point. And after a couple good looks early on, Albion was 2 or 3 from the three-point line. They missed their last 7 three-point attempts. So Hope College forcing them to knock something down. They're able to collapse, especially when they've employed that zone last 2 or 3 tips down the court defensively. So it's just a matter of the chess game between two coaches that have combined for 53 years of coaching experience. How about that?
No kidding. 53-30 here.
By the way, speaking of, I was looking up some numbers under Brian Morehouse in his 29th season. In our last game that we called together, and Hope's lost to Carroll, by the way, a rare loss here at DeVos, that was just his 100th loss in 816 career games coaching the Flying Dutch.
Guilford gets the ball into Truella. Truella blocked there by Brunsberg. Defendant's going to be foul on Leah Richards.
But, you know, Truella never gave up on the play. She was able to break loose for a good effort, even though she was double-teamed, and she got the weak side rebound on her own, and the sophomore making it happen.
It's Truella, free throw line.
Boy, I would love to be up in Houghton, Michigan right now. I just looked at the Michigan radar, and Michigan is getting socked.
Do you like this now?
No, I think I was being sarcastic when I said that. I had my own problems coming down from Empire.
Right.
By the way, Tam, keep the crock pot on. I'll be home late.
Here's Maynard. Gets the ball out to Leach. Around the horn now. Richards to Brunsberg and back around. 53-31 here on this snowy Holland evening. And that's just off the hands of Leach. Thought ball was batted out of bounds, but that's just going to be a Leach turnover.
Yeah, Emma Cook, slow night offensively for this Britain squad, but she created a good defensive play. And Albion just needs a little run. Still plenty of time, but they need to get something going offensively.
Around the key here. Truella with the left. for Albion there. That's Guilford in the corner trying to get the ball down to Cook. Goes across court. They have time expiring. Torrens just throws one up. Time runs out.
Wow, what we're seeing from Hope right now is even though Albion's making a good pass, Hope is closing so quickly defensively, especially on the offside when the pass goes away against the flow, and Albion's just getting no space right now to get a good look.
Brunsberg on the right wing. Over to Leah Richards. Like you said, Mike, I mean, they're just getting frustrated now by that defense. Albion's really struggled to score here in the second and third quarter.
Yeah, they really have. 8 points in the second quarter, 8 points here in the third. But Hope has gone down incrementally, scoring with that 24-point burst in the first 10 minutes. They had 19 in the second. Right now it's even Steven here in the third. Albion just has not been able to get the run they need to get back in.
Kalia Cook is back in the ballgame, but that's going to be a Truella offensive foul. He's going to get called for the charge.
That lead with a left forearm shiver. Referee's going to call that one. Truella with 9 points leads her club.
And in the game for Hope is Brooklyn Roback. These are her first minutes tonight. Maynard beats Guilford. Roback puts the ball on the floor. Gets it out. Leah Richards, three-point try. Yeah! Good shot.
You know, she doesn't shoot many, but the freshman came in 3 of 5 on the year, and Leah Richards, I believe that is her second knockdown from deep. It is. She's 2 of 3 tonight from deep.
She's got 10. Here's Kalia Cook now. Guilford driving, rebound, and great defensive effort by Anna Richards.
By the way, Sydney Viss, season high 12 points. Good to see her getting on the offensive board for Hope tonight.
Nice through with her speed.
You bet.
So strong, so fast there. It's going to be a timeout there by Coach Cardine. 58-31, that's the Hope lead. We got 2:18 in the third. We're going to take a break. Be right back. DeVos, Mike Coleman, Matt Wader. Mike, we got 58-31 game here. It's Hope College with the lead.
Well, we do.
So far, that looks like the changes that Hope has made defensively that have made things hard on Albion.
Well, Albion was able to get some purchase inside. They had some backdoor cuts. Hope was fighting it tough on the wing, so Brian Morehouse made some adjustment, kind of crammed the middle. Albion proved they weren't able to sustain the long shots that they had early on, and it's just a matter of preventing the drives down low where Albion was getting some success with some high percentage looks, and that just locked down the Britons' defense.
Really, at this point, Mike, it's just... I mean, Albion just really not shooting well enough to stay in this game, and Hope making things hard on them defensively.
Well, it's been the story of their season. They came in just 18% from deep and 31% as a team. Like I said, missing Brazil Watkins, the D1 transfer, leading scorer last year and all-conference first team. Huge difference maker.
Here's Kalia Cook. Yeah, and that's a nice move by the freshman from Mona Shores.
She reminds me of Lolo Reed from last year. Lolo Reed was just a bolt of lightning, fearless in the paint at 5'1".
Viss easily, and she's going to be fouled too by Cook. The way up, and Cook helps her up. So sportsmanship award of the game goes to Kalia Cook.
You bet. These teams have had some great battles over the year. The 111th meeting all time, and Albion has not won here at Hope since 2012 in January. 15-game home win streak against the Britons.
Viss can't get the free throw to go.
Season high 14 for Sydney Viss.
Torrens driving, dishes out. Guilford, three-point try. Off the mark. Courtney Lee fights for it and gets it. But they're going to get a jump ball call.
Oh, my. Lee was swarmed over, but...
If anything, Guilford may have just had a hand on it.
Well, I will say this. It's been pretty consistent. The referees trio has let these two teams go at it.
That's a good time to thank our referees and all the work that they do. Here in the MIAA, they do a fantastic job, and we're grateful for them.
You bet.
Guilford, three-point try. Front end, Viss strong with the rebound.
How about 6 rebounds for Sydney West to go along with her 16?
There by Guilford. You said she's 16 and 6 now?
Yes.
It's pretty impressive. Go back, setting up offense. High ball screen there by Viss. She gets the ball back, guarded by Guilford here.
Doreen Carden, head coach for Albion, screaming for a 3-second call.
Yeah, it looked like she didn't like Viss and Lee kind of camping down there. Lee, three-point try as time expires off the mark.
That might be Courtney Lee's first 3-ball attempt,
Yeah,
the
the first
senior.
one I can recall. We've called a lot of basketball games here, and
I'd put money on that. I'd bet a root beer on that. She didn't want to shoot it. She had no choice.
Right wing is Torrance. Torrance puts her foot down, gets that one to go.
I will
Nice
say this,
move.
Matt. Thank you, Matt. Center, inside every center is a center dying to be a 3-ball shooter.
I remember that. I played a lot of basketball. I was a 4, but whenever I had the ball in my hands, I just wanted to bring it up the court. My teammates would say, "You got to pass the ball. Pass the ball. You're not a guard." Can't you remember all the parents on the sidelines? Get into a guard.
Many are called, few are chosen.
Nice pass. Bellows to Lee. That's heads-up basketball.
Yeah, drew the defense, the double team, and an easy putback, and Hope just blowing things open.
And that will do it for the third quarter. So we got 10 minutes left in this basketball game. This game is cruising by, 62-37. Hope College leads.
Yeah, my name is Travis Williams. I'm the CEO of the ODC Network. I graduated from Hope in 1998. I studied biology, and then I also played football. In order to be successful, people really need more than just the academic experience, but they need people to come alongside them and help them, coach them, mentor them. I find that Hope College has just been one of the best examples of being able to do that anywhere.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to help share Hope stories of transformational impact.
Are you thinking about buying, selling, or refinancing? Your title agency matters, and you have a choice. Lighthouse Title started in Holland, Michigan more than 20 years ago and has grown to over 45 locations. We are proud to be local in these communities. Visit Lighthouse Title for more information and use our online widget Louie the Lightkeeper to chat with someone today about how we can help you close on your new home.
Back at DeVos, Matt Wayner, Mike Coleman. And Mike, we got some other things going on in Hope Athletics. We got Hope Volleyball, we got Hope Football. What can you tell us?
We're waiting for volleyball to get underway in Virginia, but Hope Football won their first ever playoff game, and now taking on #1 in the nation, North Central, this Saturday in the suburbs of Illinois. That's a 12 o'clock start local time. A lot of excitement on the Hope College campus.
That's right, 2 teams in the fall that are playing well into December. That's what you love to see if you're a Hope College fan. So you're going to want to tune into those broadcasts and cheer on the Dutch here in postseason play. Love to see that from other Hope teams trying to represent in the postseason.
You bet.
Going the other way, here's Albion. Ball out Guilford, another 3-point try, short. And I think they're going to get Truella over the back.
Boy, Guilford's had some great looks and came in shooting 29%. Not great, but one of the better 3-point shooters for Albion coming in. 0 of 7 tonight, just have not been able to find her shot.
So Truella, 9 points, 4 fouls so far, and they're going to need her down the stretch with 9.5 to play. Probably need to find a sub for her here, Coach Cardine. Anna Richards, left wing. Gets to Maynard, tough keep, back down to Richards, too strong, but Richards gets it back. Too strong again. Grayson Guy gets a rebound, her first minutes today. Brunsburg almost gets that 2-pointer to go.
Good job by the bench tonight. How about the bench for Hope? They've scored 30 of the 62 points so far tonight for the Flying Dutch, and that's been their theme this year. They are instant contributors. And we saw in the Carroll game, the bench carried Hope in that game.
That's right, and Brunsburg can't get the front end to go. But like you said, this bench has been fantastic. I mean, they're getting almost half their points of every game off the bench, and there's not a lot of teams that go that deep. I mean, you see a Carroll team that's really good. They go 7 deep consistently, but they have 3 girls play 35 minutes a game.
Right, that's a lot of minutes.
17, 13, and 15 points respectively. Hope, it's always been a different story. I was talking to Kenny Schoonveld. She even talked about her National Player of the Year team. She only scored 11 points a game.
Right.
You know, and that team was so good, so deep, so balanced. Could have given that award to lots of different girls on that team.
It was kind of the case with Jada Garner winning the MIAA MVP last year because she did so many things well, just not gaudy numbers.
There's Cook for 2. It's 1 to go.
Yeah, there's the Cook potential. Little 4-foot popper from the baseline. It's a tough shot, and Cook shows you why she's averaging 13 a game.
Maynard across the timeline here. Been a big fan of Maynard's game the last 2 seasons.
Oh, yes.
He's a strong guard, been so good defensively, heading up things. Richards, yeah, nice through.
You know what I've liked last couple games, Matt, is we talked about Hope just trying to figure out the field goal shooting situation. They shot 47% against River Falls, 9 of 19. So far tonight, 8 of 17 from deep. So maybe they're finding their touch.
Anna Richards at the free throw line now.
Did you think she would make that much of an impact her freshman campaign? There was a lot of talk because Anna and Leah signed 2 years ago before they even finished high school, as we see that finish, sending Richards to the line. But I personally am surprised.
It's a huge pleasant surprise. You know, preseason I sit down with Olivia Bellows, Jada Gardner, and Sid Viss, and I was talking to them as I was like, hey, you know, who are some newcomers? That's a nice 3-pointer there by DJ Pinnell, North Central High School.
There we go.
But when I sit down with them, Mike, I was like, you know, is there anybody new? Anybody, you know, who's going to replace some of Cara Bloom's minutes? Like, what can we expect? And they were like, these 2 Richards girls are for real. They're like, they look really good.
And you know, the hype from high school to college, understandable, but you know, it's a huge transition. Even great players in high school have to find their way in college because everybody's good in college no matter what level.
Maynard, tough there. Up and down, she's blocked on the way up by Emma Cook.
And especially with Brian Morehouse, you get the occasional freshman who gets meaningful minutes, but especially Anna, she started several games this year, and they just look like they've just been kind of a plug-and-play group of freshmen that have come right in and fit well in this system.
It's great to be able to be a freshman or sophomore and be able to play a lot of minutes and be in that second team where, you know, maybe you're getting pulled when it really comes down to it. Coach Morehouse can put in the Garner, Viss, and Bellows upperclassmen.
Right.
But it's been the same thing for Viss and Bellows. Played that same role. Bellows, as a junior last year, came off the bench for 11 points a game. You know, she was a junior in that second group. She was super effective.
How many players lead their team in scoring coming off the bench like Olivia Bellows did? She was second with that 11 points a game. She won all conference honors. That is just a unique situation.
And that's where Anna Richards is now. You know, it's Bellows,
yes,
and Anna Richards is right there. So you can see the potential future stardom for Anna Richards.
And especially when, you know, your starters start for a reason, especially on nights when they don't have it, like we saw in the Carroll game, the bench was able to carry. But it gives those second 5, they know they're going to get 17, 18, 19 minutes a game, and then get into a great rhythm all season long.
So some more underclassmen here in the ball game now for Hope. As Cook misses the front end. It's Roback is in there, Brunsburg, Grayson Guy, Emma Yakey, and Maynard round out that lineup.
Grayson Guy, 6 foot. There are 6 players on this roster that go 6 foot and over for Brian Morehouse.
You wonder how many, if Coach Cardine looks at the roster and say, hey, how many of those girls want to come get more minutes for me. But
I'm sorry, I was way
off.
off.
The D1 transfer portal.
Right, we don't get that. We have 7 6-foot and over. I stand corrected.
Yeah, Coach Cardine said, "Can I just have one?
Just one.
Take one of them." She can come play 10 minutes off the bench for us.
They've got Emma Cook at 6'1" and Catherine Vanderweg out of Portage, Michigan, that stands 6 foot, the 2 6-footers for
nice
Albion.
Pass, and it's blocked by Kalia Cook. Nice block.
Yeah, good recovery by the freshman. Very quick, wearing that big knee brace on her left. By the way, I had a chance to talk to the Albion bench mat at halftime. I asked about Brazil Watkins' chance to come back this year. We don't know what her injury is, the fine all-conference player for the Britons, and they said she probably will. So that's good news for the Britons.
They were uncertain on the timeline.
Correct. And I didn't ask him what type of injury it was, but obviously feeling the loss of Brazil, but encouraging that she could come back this season.
Her thoughts are with her as a senior, returning as a all-conference player. You hate to see half your season go or however many games she's going to
Exactly.
miss. So you'd love to see her back on the field, and hopefully next time we're calling an Albion Hope playoff game, Brazil's on the court.
Well, they play one more time at Kresge. They could meet in the postseason like they did last year right here at DeVos.
Guilford gets it down to Cook there. She's going to be fouled by Brooklyn Roback.
Boy, once Emma Cook gets a full head of steam, she is a freight train down low. She made up her mind she was going to go with the left hand, just got it knocked out. A pretty aggressive foul, but a good foul by Hope.
Last game it was me that was Nostradamus. This time it was you, saying it was going to be all Emma Cook in the second half.
Yeah,
that one was about I liked Brunsberg to come off the bench, and she ended up with 18 that game. That's what you like.
Correct. That was in the loss to Carroll in our last broadcast. I'm staring at Matt Wayner going, is this on tape delay? Did you watch this already? You were right.
Emma Cook gets that one to go.
Well, like my dad said, even a blind pig finds an acorn now and then.
Oh, there we go. Well, I'm just glad they're still having us back. We haven't got kicked off yet. Grayson Guy, top of the key. Gets out to Yakey, right side. Around the horn now for Hope. Trying to set up that high ball screen for Brunsberg. Brunsberg really doesn't dribble that much. He's mostly been just touch shooter on the outside. Somebody likes to set up in the corner and get to her spot.
Yeah, but here she's running the point in that last transaction. Looked pretty comfortable. Had a crossover dribble.
The Hope turnover gives Albion a chance here, down 21. Leah Cook, dish out. And that's going to be another turnover. Maynard knifing through traffic. Gets it out to Yakey, too strong.
Yakey set that whole thing up, the sophomore out of St. Charles, Illinois, with good hands, getting some meaningful minutes.
Yeah, for her, she's able to pop into that passing lane, boot the ball, and then she's gutted out in transition.
Absolutely.
Trying to get the ball from Maynard. Left side. Here's Pinnell. Driving. Dishes. Out to Guilford.
Oh, kind of a tic-tac foul after the physicality really through the first 3.5 quarters of this one.
Like that foul. This can be on Brunsberg as we look at the replay here, Mike. Guilford on the drive. No, it's going to be, you can see Maynard actually, not Brunsberg. Maynard there, kind of grabbing her jersey.
Highly frowned upon.
First. That's right, 65-44, that's the Hope lead. New sub in first minutes of this game. It's going to be number 5 for Hope College. Katie Blazet, 6'1" freshman from Franklin, Wisconsin. You got any Franklin, Wisconsin for me?
I do. That's where Olivia Rangel from Carroll.
That. We talked to her mom in between games.
Right, just outside of Milwaukee. I looked it up just to verify, but yeah, Franklin, Wisconsin, well represented so far against Hope College basketball this year.
They had a couple players from Franklin.
They did.
Freshmen as well.
And I'll see Carter Capstrand, Wisconsin Whitewater men's basketball player, whose sister plays on Carroll's team going up against Hope Men this weekend. as Hope take on Whitewater on Friday and Platteville on Saturday.
Whitewater, just a fantastic program. If it's football, if it's basketball, men's, women's, doesn't matter. They're great at everything.
They are, and it's a tough gauntlet, as Hope does that pretty much every year. Every other year they'll travel to Wisconsin. If you can pull off one win out of those two, you know you've done something, because the WIAC, where Whitewater and Platteville are, one of the top basketball programs, conferences I should say, in the nation.
Absolutely, and in women's basketball, like you said, so competitive. If it's Wisconsin lacrosse, if it's Whitewater, if it's River Falls, whoever, it's just so deep.
Well, that's who Hope beat, was Whitewater, to get their national championship a couple years ago. Whitewater in the mix as well this year in women's action.
Oshkosh is in that.
They're all fantastic.
Yankee, deep three try off the mark of Guilford is going to be fouled by Maynard after she gets the board.
Hope still shooting well, 8 of 18 from 3, but you're looking at the numbers in this game, Matt. They held Loras to just 37 points on November 15th in the victory, and holding true in the last 441. This could be the lowest scoring, the lowest points opponents have scored besides that Loras game against this Hope defense.
65-47, 4:41 to play here in this game. Mike, that's Vanderweg is going to be checking back in, and then Anna Richards and Garner are going to be coming back in this game.
And Matt, we've got a broadcast doubleheader next time you and I are together, so I hope you can strap in for those. We've got women in action against St. Mary's, an MIAA matchup. That's a 5 o'clock start on December 14th. That's an approximate start, because Matt and I will also have the broadcast of the men's game against Ohio Wesleyan, a team we have not seen in several years, and that's a 3 o'clock tip. So normally the second game runs a little bit behind, so I would approximate 30 minutes after the conclusion of the first one. As the great Ernie Banks said for the Chicago Cubs, let's play two. We'll have 2 broadcast games for you on December 14th.
Sounds good, and love to have those back-to-back when it's men's and women's game. Get a lot of fans to come out, a lot of people in the area. Maybe there's a little less than 10 inches on the ground for that. As I'm sure all you at home are awaiting school delays, work cancellations, waiting to find out that you're going to be working from home tomorrow, maybe.
No doubt. It's easier than, some have it easier than others in that department, but crowd not as big as normal. I'm sure the weather had something to do with that, as it was raining here on the lake shore, a little warmer than we anticipated, but now things are cooling off. A lot of snow all over the state.
Schoenborn as well, back in the ball game for Albion, and that's Schoenborn, Pinnell, Cook, Guilford, and Vanderweg here for Albion.
By the way, I love our broadcast crew tonight with that microphone on the rim. High quality stuff, and I just really think that adds to the broadcast.
They do a fantastic job, as well as the floor sweepers tonight. A couple of Hope College baseball players, that's Tom Batch-Galupo, Logan McCoy. Shout out to those guys heading into an important season. Maybe we'll do a little bit of Hope baseball talk one of these times in between games.
Well, you've got the insight on that, Matt, so that'd be kind of nice to talk about maybe at halftime coming in with a new coach this year.
That's right, Coach Ryan Doro. This is his first season, somebody I've known a little bit a while, and maybe we'll have a chance to even get him on the broadcast, talk a little bit about the upcoming season.
Yeah, he's got some minor league experience, Mr. Doro, which is always interesting to see his travels and what he brings to a team. But how about Stu Fritz, a classic icon of a coach, one of the best guys around, and he certainly put his time in and left his mark as this legacy for Hope baseball.
Absolutely. You talked to Coach Fritz recently. I mean, still involved, still in the community. I see him at basketball games, see him in the Holland community all the time, and what a fantastic job he's done and able to pass it off to somebody I couldn't speak higher of in Ryan Doro. And Doro, of course, with so much experience in minor leagues, able to play. He was talking to me, he was just talking to Josh Young, all-star, MLB all-star for the Rangers recently. I'm going to have an opportunity for him to come talk to the Hope College baseball team.
That's amazing.
It's a turnover there. That was stripped out of the hands of Lauren Leach. Guilford in transition now. Truella is going to get called for the travel before the Leach foul.
My goodness, Hope has not hit a field goal in this fourth quarter. They're 0 for 9, but they have such a big lead going into this fourth quarter. It's a moot point with 3:30 left, barring a complete collapse. But Jada Garner back in to settle things down for Hope, starting guard.
Hope up 17. We didn't talk about it. I think my line at the beginning of the game was about 16.5. So we'll see if they can cover the right, hovering around that.
Oh, nice kiss off the window. Just missed it.
Katie Lizzie going to work down there. Just chucks that one up there. She's fouled on the way up by Vanderweg.
Boy, 6'1", the freshman out of Franklin, Wisconsin, but she looks taller, and she's got such long arms and great height down low, using that post to her advantage. You know, we talk about how young Albion is. There's only 4 seniors on Hope's roster, so the youth has been served a little bit. They were really young last year as they made it to the Sweet 16. And speaking of, they lost to that Whitewater team. Little vindication for Whitewater from a couple years previously when they lost that championship game in Pittsburgh to Hope.
I just feel like every year, you know, I look at the postseason tournament and the matchups, and it's got to be 3 or 4 CCIW teams and 3 or 4 WIAC teams every year.
Yeah,
I mean, those two conferences just so competitive.
Yeah, that's because it's top-notch basketball with great programs, and then you get the UAA teams like Wash U and Chicago, who's having a great season, who Albion lost to, and their last game ranked in the top 25.
Here comes Garner going the other way now. Still playing even with a couple minutes left. It's Coach Morehouse trying to get everybody in the ball game now. He's going to take a full timeout. So why don't we take a break here? 69-48. That's Hope College lead. We'll be back after this full timeout.
Gentex is a tech company supplying electro-optical products to the global automotive, aerospace, and fire protection industries. With focused competencies in design, vision, displays, software, and more, we're always looking for engineering talent. For our direct hire hourly production positions, we run open interviews Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 at our 58 East Riley facility in Zeeland. And our facilities, benefits, and culture are everything you'd expect from a world-class employer. Now's the time to join Team Gentex.
Is it really? That's awesome. That's cool. Help her brother out. I look good in green. You won't be able to see me. No, you don't. I'm the Magic Man.
Back here, DeVos, 69-48.
I think I got a new nickname.
Oh, yeah, you left it on. I don't know. What do we blame that on? You were the age.
Well,
we make age jokes, and I'm just
full disclosure, Matt. I'm 63 and a half, and Matt a couple weeks ago. You can't be over 50 until I send him a tech conundrum, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're almost 64."
I said couldn't be over 50. He sent me a 4-minute voice memo of background noise at a Hope football game. I was like, Mike?
I'll prove it to you. Just give me a week, and I'll do something. So
that's pretty funny. We got 2:40 to play here in this ball game.
Gotta have a little fun. Or a lot of fun.
In the game now for Albion, that's number 21, Anya Mial from Wyoming, Michigan.
And the Potter's House High School.
Kalia Cook, that's a good-looking shot in the corner. I thought that was a no-brainer for her.
Yeah, good stroke by Cook, near side baseline. She pops it.
Here's Roback leading up offense now. And the push-off by Brooklyn Roback. She just had a little bit too much with the hands there.
Trying to gain some space. We've seen a couple offensive fouls by the Hope guards trying to use that left arm lead. Well, Albion has not quit, Matt. They were down big. I think it was 60-37, and now they're still down 18, but time running out on the Britons.
Now, out in the corner is Niall. 3-point try, just short. Cook and a host of Dutchmen fighting for that board. And it's Lily Miller gets her first minutes in this game.
Yeah, Lily Miller, 6'2" junior from Muskegon Mona Shores off the bench. Another one of those 6-foot plus on the roster.
Here's Pinnell, heading up offense. Dribble driving. And she's fouled on the way up. Looks like they're going to get That's going to be on Yakey there.
And Matt, you get all these games where you can go 12, 15 deep during certain minutes, and it pays off. And I'll tell you, we're going to go back to the men, Hope men. Marcus Warman, lost him in the first game of the season right here at DeVos in the second half, and Hope was forced to start a freshman at point guard, Brady Miller, who's done a great job. And the backup point guard is also a freshman, so the minutes are so valuable because you never know when the next man up is going to be called. Injuries are part of the game, and you have to be ready. That's why you just put this in the vault if you're a young player that doesn't start. You got to take advantage of these minutes.
That's right. I mean, that goes division by division. That goes up all the way to the NBA.
Right.
As you see, it's always next man up. But this is a great time to learn that, especially if you're a young freshman who thinks, oh, I'm not going to play much this year. I'm just going to learn. You never know if you're going to be needed. Lily Miller just misses that one off the mark. You never know when your number's going to be called.
That's right. It's an old adage in sports, but it's absolutely true.
It's got to be something as you look at Coach Morehouse with 700-plus wins. To his credit, he's always had deep teams.
Fastest coach in NCAA history. That's all the division, folks, to 700 victories. Good offensive rip down to put back.
A very impressive career he's been. And his winning percentage, I mean, he only loses between 5 and 7 games a year. So he's been absolutely dominant in his career, and he's built a culture that has been second to none here at Hope, where if you're a women's basketball player in this area, that's where you go.
And Brian Morehouse, hands crossed, arms crossed as he's standing off to our right, coaching all the way down to the end, even with a minute left.
Katie Lizzie, tough pass out there. That's going to be stolen going the other way for Albion, but a travel is going to be called. That's going to be on Kaylee Christensen, the freshman from Bay City, John Glenn High School.
Doreen Carden getting some of her players in, so everybody getting some minutes on this Wednesday night.
Couple possessions left here. Under a minute to play. Blazé, top of the key, gets it down to Miller. Miller, yeah. Her first 2 points.
You bet. Fed it down to Miller using her height, and she ponged one home.
There's Kalia Cook now. Ooh, almost a travel there called by Zia Martin. Zia Martin, freshman also from Kalamazoo Mattawan High School. And Brooklyn Roback's going to slow things up, and they're going to let the time expire on the clock here. 71-52 is the 19-point Hope College victory here at DeVos Fieldhouse. And Mike, we'll spend just a couple seconds here to wrap things up. Get some stat totals here. We'll start us off here as we got Hope 71, Albion 52. Hope College 39% from the field, and Albion even better, 40% from the field. Albion just 4 of 17 from 3. Hope College 8 of 19 for 42%. Hope College 65% from the free throw line. Albion just 50%. And Hope College absolutely crushing the rebound battle, 48-26.
Yeah, recipe for success for the Flying Dutch. But the bugaboo for Albion was that second quarter. They scored just 8 points to 19 for Hope on 3 of 13 shooting. Now they rebounded after that, but by then it was a little bit too late. So the last 15 minutes of this game was well served by Albion, but the game was already gone. But how about the balance for Hope College as Sydney Viss? We said she had 16, officially 14 to lead her team. Brunsberg and Richards off the bench. Both had 10 as part of 37 bench points for the Flying Dutch. And back-to-back games now where they've shot over 40% from the three-point line. And the defense, 52 points. You'll take that in any given night as well.
So Hope will continue to get going as they have Saturday's game, 3 p.m. in Olivet, Michigan at the University of Olivet. Another MIAA matchup. So that'll be there. What's your next call, Mike? Where are you going to be?
Well, I will be calling men's basketball on the road for the Van radio station this weekend against Wisconsin Whitewater on Friday. That's an 8 o'clock start, our time, and then Saturday, 6 o'clock against Platteville. And that's going to be a tough stretch for the Flying Dutchman men. But they're coming off a big victory over Wheaton on Tuesday where they scored the first 25 points of the game in the first 12 minutes, and they really cruised. And the energy was good, so we'll see how they respond after a big win. But a lot going on. We got volleyball tonight. You can watch the Hope Athletics website for the results on that, or the NCAA website. And we've got Hope football this Saturday against the #1 ranked team in the nation in North Central.
71-52. That's the Hope College victory here from Voss Fieldhouse. Matt Waiter, Mike Coleman. We will see you next time.
You bet.